Mr. Scrollum, this was a premeditated attack.
Conclusion. Their target was the space station, but their strategies are still unknown to us.
That's right. Which is precisely why we need him. The last to lay eyes on Herta's puppet before the attack was him.
And you are?
This is Dr. Ratio of the Intelligentsia Guild, a delegate from the IPC.
He's only just woken up, dazed. He may need a few pointers. Ah, we cross paths again. Do you remember me? Of course.
Mr. Trailblazer, you must have many questions.
You probably know the gist of things already. A few system hours ago, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location of the puppet, and we can't pinpoint its signal. No. The attack happened on a base outside the station, beyond the surveillance camera's range. She's away on a visit. This issue didn't seem to trouble her much.
She received an invitation from the IPC before the attack occurred.
Ah, the technology department. Charming little place, isn't it? Madame Yabuli does possess some semblance of competence, but her subordinates? Oof. Oh, they're a riot. Brimming with enthusiasm, yet utterly devoid of intellect. It's as if evolution halted prematurely for them. They want to start some new collaborations with Herta, and have graciously extended an invite for me to play the role of science consultant. It's delightfully amusing. I can't wait to witness firsthand how these... However, this attack was timed a little too well. I can't help but wonder if someone leaked this information, and the attackers seized the opportunity. Herta's aloof response to these juvenile provocations? Almost as intriguing. What a delightful little puzzle.
I've long heard that you're one of the best researchers in the guild, Dr. Ratio. We are honored to have your assistance.
Save your flattery. Time is hardly a luxury we can squander. To debate the merits of mere mortals in the company of an actual genius? Quite the paradox, if you ask me. Excuse me, you. Tell me, what were you doing the last time you saw that puppet? Don't play the fool. Think.
I think I was.
Oh, right. I need your help with something else. That curio's gone missing, and I can't just forget about it. Go find it for me when you have the time. I'm sure you can manage that, can't you? Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's alive, but it doesn't have a body. Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but I can't remember. If only there were some hints, then maybe...
Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
My memory is kind of hazy. What did I do after that? This is what I recall before I met Herta, but I can't remember some of the details. Let me try to remember the conversation with Asta.
A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body. Maybe the researchers at the Departments of Ecology or Insight may have an idea? Hinkle and are around here somewhere. I'd suggest you ask them about it.
Estes seems to have mentioned two names. Two researchers from the departments of Ecology and Insight.
Those despicable villains are distorting the truth online. Ugh. If I discover who's behind this... A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body? Oh, nowadays people call them wubbaboos? Well, I might be the Department of Ecology head, but I'm not the most knowledgeable person when it comes to curios. Adler would be of more help, but he's been investigating some paranormal phenomenon. I must say, it's a little embarrassing for the space station to be in such disarray. Well, we've been through a huge crisis and are still recovering. People are growing more and more distrustful of the management here. Never mind, I shouldn't be telling you this. It's something that we researchers need to resolve ourselves. Pretend I didn't say anything.
Adler. Right. Then I ran into Arlen. Adler was with him. And was that... Adler was with Arlen. They were involved in some sort of incident.
What? He went to the scene alone with Peppy? How could you let him?
Calm down, Brother Arlen. I know you're upset.
We're walking the dog.
We're having a walk.
Like I said, we're walking the dog.
So I'm the dog?
They seem to be hiding something.
Is there something you need?
Oh, really? What a coincidence. We're looking for him, too. That kid sure is brave, running straight to the scene on his own. No danger. Of course he's not in danger. Brother Arlen, I can't keep this up anymore.
Can you leave the talking to me next time? Let's walk and talk. Why are you looking for Adler? A lost curio. I see. He'll be able to help. Careful. The fragmentum in this area is very unstable. Over there! As I thought, he's in trouble. Let's go! A strong adversary. Help me improve. Strike with heart!
Defend the weak.
I'm okay. Time for a shot. Nap time.
So, how the blade in flight!
Naughty children, don't listen. Here comes the medicine.
Nice teamwork.
Strike with heart!
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward! Too late to repent. Lance at the ready.
Strike with heart! Swords descend!
The truth of life in sanctuary is but a vision. Break! Indestructible.
Blade in flight!
Peppy! Are you okay?
That's me. What's up?
He wants to ask you something about curios. I'll leave you to it. Adler, Peppy's in your hands now. Oh, about that investigation I asked you.
Don't worry. I think I figured something out. Catch you later. So, which curio do you want to know about? That's all you got? Too abstract. Well, there's beauty in the abstract, I guess. Have you asked the Department of Ecology head? Huh, she's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely right either.
What did I say?
Huh. Now that you mention it, I have a wild hypothesis, but it needs verifying. Let's call it a day. Wait for me. I'll be in touch.
Adler seems to have gotten a lead, but what was the information I forgot? And from whom? Let's go over it from the start. I may have overlooked something. My memories of Arlen and Adler are hazy.
A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body. How's it going? Did you find the information you're after? I see. Is that what Hinkle and think? At least that counts as a... See? My researchers are pretty... Just business as usual. Nothing to worry about. After the Legion's invasion, the space station has been under constant scrutiny. Physical damage can be easily repaired, but it takes a long time to heal the wounds in people's hearts. Some researchers have been questioning the management and security of the space station ever since the invasion. Things had settled down a bit with the reconstruction efforts, but the researchers' disappearances have rattled them again. Yes. 4 researchers have inexplicably disappeared in a matter of days. No exit logs, no traces. Vanished. People were just starting to regain their footing after the catastrophe. I didn't want panic to spread, so I suppressed the reports and told the security department to investigate in secret. However, as you can see, it's hard to keep secrets in a sardine can like this. Rebuilding trust is harder than establishing it in the first place. I'm concerned someone's pulling strings to sway public opinion. Anyway, the most important thing is to get to the bottom of the disappearances. That's okay, but thank you for the offer. Aren't you helping Madame Herta with something? Oh, by the way, I heard about the thing mentioned, and I'll look into it too. I'll find a way to solve the problem for the space station.
So I did consult someone else other than Hinkle. The only thing I remember is that they're from the Department of Insight. The other person should be from the Department of Insight. I need to remember who it is. The other person should be from the... Identifying that person is crucial. It could be the key to making sense of everything.
Hey, what brings you here?
I'm not that wonderful.
It's all taken care of. As long as here's the account you asked for. It's legit and secure, allowing...
Sure. Can I...
Oh, you flatter me. Small scale. Best left under the table. But if you ever make it big in the game...
Again? How many times has it been?
Here too. My memories are just... Did my memory piece together irrelevant information? Now I remember. The other person is Emily. She was... What did Emily...
I say, what a... No need to be modest. At my age, though, I confess I did hear someone say you were the shining...
Sure.
See this material here? People are so inconsiderate. I'm not getting any younger, and my eyes...
Again? How many times has it been?
Oh, another smart look...
Huh. Asta told you to find me? A curio that doesn't have a body but is alive. Isn't the Department of Ecology full of curio experts? That's got nothing to do with the Department of Insight. However, I've heard of such a species. A colleague who came back from a business trip said that the Cienjo Alliance has life forms like that. Don't get me wrong, I was merely relaying information. I didn't mean I'd help you. The atmosphere on the space station has been getting stranger lately. It's risky taking sides.
The Cienjo species Emily mentioned seems to be what inspired Adler. The Cienjo species.
I figured you'd come to... I'm sorry. The situation is very...
Just as I thought. I vaguely remember.
I'm sorry. The situation... I see. Could you also tell that lady... I'll be honest with you. It's been tough. The surveillance didn't capture anything regarding the researcher's disappearance. There's only one clue. Adler observed that the automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances occurred. That means that every victim's disappearance was accompanied by some inexplicable fire. When we made visits to the scenes, some of the witness testimony seemed to agree with this. The words they used were spontaneous combustion of the human body.
Have you asked the department? She's not wrong.
Huh?
She's not... that's right! They're called Heliobi! I guess you could say that Wubbaboos and Heliobi are... Now that you mention it, I have a... Let's call it a day.
Spontaneous combustion of the human body. I need to go over it.
Let me describe it. Send me a signal when you...
I think she mentioned if only there was...
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's an energy... Send me a signal when you see traces of it. That's not the point. I wouldn't be bothering with it if it didn't have something to do with the cheat. Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ahead.
I commend your stamina for recounting that interminable tale. You must be exhausted. My ears certainly are. So, to sum it up, the last time you laid eyes on Herta was in her office. She sent you on a wild goose chase for some trinket, the curio. After which you knew nothing else until Lady Asta contacted you. If that's the narrative you're sticking to, then indulge me. Who, pray tell, can substantiate this captivating drama? A second-hand account. She wasn't at the scene. Hearsay hardly counts as compelling yet.
Affirmation. We can ask her to...
Well, if you lace up those boots and start sprinting now, you might just catch the IPC shuttle in 4 system hours. But as it stands, not a single soul can corroborate his story.
Mr. Ratio, your style of questioning would seem to have a preconceived bias.
Apologies, it's an unfortunate habit of mine. When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. It is also the most efficient method, judging from my experience. Seeking answers with a negative hypothesis in mind is still valid research. It can still help us reach the truth. If he is truly innocent, he can clear his name with answers. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment. And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one nameless...
I doubt Herta is interested in the curio
Based on your story, and the assignment in Herta's collection...
I doubt...
Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
I remember now.
That's enough pretending. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
If you knew Herta, then...
Don't interrupt other people. Based on your story and Herta's collection, an endless... Based and the Herta's collection... Based and the Herta's collection, an endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one nameless ordinary curio? It's hard for me to imagine she would treasure one curio.
I remember now.
That's enough Herta's collection. An endless...
I remember now.
That's enough pretending. Herta's collection.
The curio isn't the point. Herta was only addressing it because of its relation to the Genius Society.
I would imagine the curio is the creation of a genius. Affirmation. It holds some special meaning to Herta.
Yes. That seems logically sound. Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio. However, she decided to hold her tongue until now? So what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is Asta the one?
The space station has been very distrustful of its higher management, ever since the Antimatter Legion's invasion. Another severe incident would further intensify suspicion, and cause great internal strife.
Oh. So that explains why Lady Asta approved of my participation. After all, the Intelligentsia Guild's representative wouldn't be linked to the space station, but would still share the IPC's position. They wouldn't be partial to anyone, but would still act for the space station's benefit. Two birds with one stone. Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of...
I remember now.
That's enough pretending. Researchers' disappearances, you say? Clearly cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
I remember now.
That's enough cut the act. You're perfectly aware...
I remember now.
That's enough pretend. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
I remember now.
That's enough cut the act.
Doubt me all you like. You and I are no different. We both stumbled into this, but you...
Oh? Your point being? Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
Correction. There may...
Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess has been thrust. Clearly, though, it cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
Correction.
Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard clearly, though. It bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked.
No connection? I disagree. There should...
Clearly, though, It bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked.
I remember now.
That's enough pretending. Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked.
I remember now.
That's enough pretend. Clearly, though.
No. If I recall correctly, Asta said, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location of the puppet, and we can't pinpoint its signal. Don't know the location. Isn't that the same as missing?
She did say that. But then what? You need to provide evidence to show incidents are linked.
There should be evidence. Arlen discovered something odd when he was investigating the disappearances. The space station's automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances happened. Arlen mentioned that each victim disappeared due to spontaneous combustion.
Huh. But there are no signs of a fire anywhere in the space station.
That's what's so odd about it. But this information has an additional layer of importance. This may not be direct evidence, but if the system also recorded the fire suppression system activating when the puppet was attacked, then there's ample evidence to indicate that these two cases are linked.
If these two incidents were caused by the same person, then the suspicion put on you would decrease, provided...
We'll see in the main control room. Let's go. Huh? What was that?
Harrider News Flash. This is an urgent broadcast. I repeat, this is an urgent broadcast. News has finally emerged regarding the attack on Madame Herta. The Annihilation Gang has claimed responsibility for the incident and warned of further activity. The Guild has expressed utmost condemnation.
The gods of the starry skies have abandoned the world. They give no thought to the masses. Only the wounded savior can bathe the world in the firelight of destruction. Yet always there are cowards trying in vain to reject their favor and escape the wounds. Flee then. Flee as far as you can. No matter the distance, annihilation will find you.
This is...
A declaration of war, and an announcement of what's to come. They have set their sights on you. The Legion's impact remains.
This Duke Inferno Ifrit is a life form that hails from Fatora, a world long since destroyed. His race, the ever-burning fire demons, regard Nanook as their emperor and savior, but the Eon has never cast their gaze upon them.
A group of pitiful lunatics. I like Dr. Primitive's assessment of them. The value Nanook sees in the Annihilation Gang is perhaps far less than one might see in a child who deliberately broke a vase. The fire demons have a cruel temper and instinctively ignite and destroy items. Ifrit is particularly evil and cruel, even among his kin. The Everflame mansion he heads is even the arch-enemy of the Japella Brotherhood, despite both groups belonging to the Annihilation Gang.
Japella Brotherhood? I've heard that name somewhere.
On the Stellaron Hunters wanted posters, they stand accused of inciting the Japella Rebellion, the uprising that caused the downfall of the Brotherhood.
The Japella Palace crumbled in the scorching flames, and Ifrit's power has grown by the... Something similar is about to happen here. Spontaneous combustion? For him, it's as routine as me finding fault in everything. The disappearance of researchers, that video will soon circulate. And
the destruction of trust.
I'm afraid more than you need to start acting now. You have a superior strategy? Pray tell, do we set the two of them loose, turning whispered fears into full-blown pandemonium?
If we did that, we'd be at a disadvantage. I'll stay here and try to contain the news as best I can.
It's still early. Where to now?
Not good. This is serious. The security department will do whatever we can to help you.
A list of the missing researchers and their details.
Sure, but the security department already combed through their backgrounds and personal relationships. We didn't find anything odd. The Annihilation Gang...
A list of the missing researchers.
Okay.
Take it. Remember these names. Find a friend who's tuned into the gossip around here and tell them you want to know the relationship between these... I don't know.
What else do you need me to do?
Take me to the one who knows the most about curios within the department.
He disappeared too. I didn't really notice at first. Adler's difficult to get a hold of at the best of times, but it's been a few system hours and I still can't reach him. Even the surveillance cam. The last time I saw him was in the master control zone.
Lead the way. You said Adler was on the verge of a discovery, yet couldn't confer his knowledge. If his disappearance is also related to the case here, then maybe he really did stumble upon something important.
True. The keywords that got Adler thinking were energy life forms. Duke Inferno is also an energy life form. Coincidence? We need to investigate this.
Jerk! Fine! Disappear! I don't ever want... Adler, he He doesn't even answer me when I speak to him.
What did he talk about?
He kept saying the word phrase.
Phrase.
Who said I want him back? But if you want to find him, he was reading this booklet the last time I saw him. I don't know exactly what he's searching for, but I hope it can help you.
Your countenance suggests tragedy. So the researchers who disappeared were at the forefront of challenging management. Isn't that a curious puzzle piece? I finished browsing through this booklet while you were replying to messages. It recorded the lives of a few Genius Society members. I'd say it contains some interesting information. It's time to go back and chat with Lady Asta and Mr.
Not a scratch.
So, how many of my moves can you block?
Wait for the tiles before. Oh! That's a set!
Lance at the ready. Defend the weak.
Naughty children, savor the vigor of it.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
A one-time enemy, blade and flight! Luke. Choose from strike. They come. Nap time. I'm okay. Strike with heart. Practice is over. Swords descend.
Lance at the ready. Nice teamwork.
Time for swordplay! Ha!
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward! Not a scratch.
I'm okay.
I'm on guard.
Blade and flash!
That's better.
Strike with heart!
Nap time.
Blade and flash!
Hit!
Naughty child.
Nice teamwork.
How many can you block? Strike with heart!
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Practice is over. Swords descend!
Lance at the ready. Reach the end of the story in your own way.
You're back. I've been monitoring the dark web. I barely managed to stop the video from spreading. The incident hasn't grown any bigger, for now. How are things with you?
Less than promising. Or to use a different phrase, we're in deep trouble. We're running out of time. Let's retrace our steps and evaluate the situation. From the data we've collected, there are 3 avenues we can explore. First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital information. The next angle is what the victims have in common, distasteful as that discussion may be. First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital information.
I understand. So the answer is...
Tenuous connection. First, Adler's disappearance.
I understand.
Tenuous connect. For the next angle is what the victims have in common. Last is the abilities of Duke Inferno and the secret. During prior unrest instigated by the Everflame Mansion, some testified to seeing miscreants materialize from the Inferno. The flickering tongues of Duke Inferno's fire carrying a certain property, and this property is the secret behind spontaneous human combustion. Look, the answer is right there. This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through dimensions, claiming it burns through worlds, leaving numerous scions of flame behind.
understand.
Tenuous this kindling of this booklet is the kindling of this unique flame must be the missing curio that Hurt has been searching for, and Duke Inferno is evidently spawned from it. I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. This booklet describes a kind of fire I fear. Undoubtedly, the curio Herta asked to find was the phase flame. And Adler already discovered the relationship between spontaneous human combustion and the phase flame through the concept of energy life forms. I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered.
I understand.
Tenuous connection. I fear that this is... This booklet describes a kind of fire that...
I understand.
Tenuous connection. This booklet describes a...
I understand.
Tenuous connection. This booklet describes a kindling of this unique flame. Must be the... I fear that this is the... This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through the kindling of this unique flame. Must be the missing curio that...
I understand.
Tenuous kindling of this unique flame.
I understand.
Tenuous connection. The kindling of this unique...
I understand.
Tenuous connections. The kindling...
Somebody was once able to glimpse the traces of the phase flame and obtained a wisp of its kindling. Herta kept it and lent it to Ron May for her research, but the kindling was lost in the process. If Ifrit is a scion of the phase flame, then the entire incident is now clear as day.
The kindling of this unique flame. I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. When Schurling said, Adler kept muttering about a phrase before he disappeared. I believe this word was actually phase. He saw Member 29 Sir Call's research topic in this booklet and verified his hypothesis. As a scion of the phase flame, Duke Inferno would naturally share similar capabilities. Full-on phase shifting may be a bit too ambitious for him, but teleportation, that's likely more his speed. That is the truth of the spontaneous human combustion. The researchers didn't disappear. They were moved. We don't know where the victims went, but Duke Inferno's plan is now clear. And the sudden and consecutive disappearances provided the best environment for chaos to fester. Once the seed of unrest has sprouted, he will then send out an announcement for an imminent attack. It will push the crisis from the dark into the light, catalyzing it into new growth and bloom. The next step would be to ignite the spark. Look at those researchers who disappeared. What would happen if someone realized their similarities? I need say no more.
It was all a premeditated trap to stir up chaos on the space station.
We're running out of time.
isn't enough.
Indeed, it needs one more spark.
What do you mean?
If you limit your involvement to this, there's still room for excuses. If it were me, I wouldn't give you the chance.
Could it be?
Huh? What is it?
Stay calm. Asta was merely teleported. Her life was not in danger. Based on first-hand experience, I have ascertained that Ifrit's flame is simply a splinter of the primordial phase flame, lacking any phase shift ability. Logic. Asta is still within the confines of the space station.
That flame must still be somewhere inside the station. Find it, and we'll find a way to bring her back.
A splinter, you say? The arrogance of the gifted is charming in its own way. Try then if you must.
It seems that Duke Inferno didn't deign to personally grace the space station. He merely cast infernal fire into our midst to wreak havoc among the researchers.
I will head to Herta's office and activate the folded space in the curio storage room. With some Mr. Ratio, please go with Mr.